Hello, wonderful people. Tom Check with Choice Coaching. Talking today a little bit about a word that keeps coming up at workshops and in some of the writing I'm doing and in some of the reading I'm doing. And I'm noticing that it's coming up over and over again. So I figured I'd just explore it a little bit. And it's a word that I think is really important for these challenging times, not just in a pandemic, but just challenging times in general. And that word is grace. What do I mean when I say grace? For me, that word means love. And so it's an invitation to love yourself. When I tell somebody to give yourself a little grace, what I really am saying is this is going to be hard. It might feel uncomfortable. It's okay. Love yourself as you do it. Why is that important? Why does this keep coming up? Why am I making a video about this? And I think it's because most of us, myself included, often have the default pattern of when we go and we try and change some part of ourselves, there's this natural tendency to beat ourselves up. Right? We see the thing we want to change and we beat ourselves up that it even got there in the first place. Oh, I've got this problem. I'm broken. I need to be fixed. And that voice of fear that's inside all of us tells us a story about how not good we are because the problem even exists, even though we're trying to step in and change it. And when we have that story happening and we don't have grace for ourselves, we're not really able to explore what's going on within ourselves, which means that we're not likely to actually create change. You can only beat yourself over the head into change so much. It's a lot more effective to draw yourself forward into the future that you want to live in. But that takes forgiving yourself for being where you're at, and maybe even loving yourself for getting to where you're at. That can be really challenging, but it's really worthwhile. And it comes with some really awesome secondary benefits, right? When we are doing the hard work of personal exploration, when we do it with grace, when we do it with love for ourselves, far more able to lean into curiosity, and we're far more able to step out of fixing because we're not actually broken, so we don't need to be fixed. When we're curious, we can actually have a little bit of fun doing this challenging work of personal development and self-growth. And when we're able to have fun, be curious, and give ourselves this grace, this love, the process of change actually becomes meaningful, and it becomes really authentic, and it allows us to do what most of us are trying to do, which is to thrive, because we all know that change isn't going away. It's going to be with us the rest of our lives. We are going to be changing the rest of our lives. And if that challenge is always filled with pain, oh man, what a terrible life that's going to be. But if it's filled with grace and it's filled with love, it allows us to be a little bit more joyful in the process that we're going to be engaged in for the rest of our lives. So that's the thought for today. I'd invite you to explore it with grace on your own. Where do you see the voice of fear coming in and telling you a story about how you're no good? What's it like to accept that that voice is having that discussion and you can love yourself, give yourself that grace at the same time? How does that change the process? So that's all for today. Have a great one, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.